Every browser has a back button, a forward button, and reload button. And of course, the URL bar. But here is something you have probably never thought about. Why don't browsers have an up button like we do in file explorers? Just go one level higher in the URL. Seems obvious, right? So why is it missing? Let's find out. Before diving deep, we need to understand how the browser navigation works in the first place. When you browse through the pages, your browser builds a history of the websites you have opened. So you can go back to the previous page or forward to the next one if you have already gone back. Browsers do this by storing URLs in order, like a list. Every time you open a new page, the browser adds it to this list. And there are only limited things you can do with it, which are just going back and forth between these pages and also reloading the current page. The reason why there is no up button because the term up doesn't make sense in a list. But if we look at file explorers, they work kinda the same way in terms of navigating between folders with back and forward buttons, just like web browsers. But a file explorer is structured like a tree rather than a list, which means going up the tree is not a problem. For example, here going up from projects folder would take you to documents folder, then users, then C drive or the root folder. But web pages don't always follow that kind of structure, even if the URL looks like they do. For example, you might assume clicking up the URL takes you from this URL to this one, and clicking again would take you to the home page. But oftentimes it's not guaranteed. Sometimes the parent page just doesn't exist, like for this URL, for example. As a result, you are likely to land on a broken, aka 404 not found page. Also, there is a part that websites today are built dynamically. They might not even have real folder structures behind the scenes. It's just all handled by JavaScript and routing. So just chopping off the end of the URL doesn't guarantee a working page. Still, the idea is interesting to me, so let's imagine a world where browsers theoretically did have the up button. How would it work? Here are some options I could think of. Option 1. Trim the URL. Quick and easy solution, clicking the button would just remove the part after the forward slash. I actually found an extension in Firefox that already does it. But the problem is, this would only work if the website is strictly designed in a structured way. Also, there's a mention of dynamic pages as well, as we looked at earlier. Or option 2, use defined parent links. Browsers perhaps could let us, developers, define a parent page manually in the code, so then browsers can follow a set path. But the problem, not all websites would bother to set this up, and it might not work consistently across the board. Or option 3. I would love to hear thoughts from other developers on this idea. How do you think this feature could be implemented? Do you think up button could be a good feature for browsers? Let me know what you think. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.